Hey, it's Gina at Tarot and Time in Connecticut. I'm here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead. It's a big week ahead of March 9th through 15th. So there's going to be a lot of hype this week on social media about all the things that are going on. And I want you to find the humor in that and don't get too caught up in thinking that it's going to be anything big and scary. Okay, that's kind of a theme this week. Those big and scary parts of us that get bigger and bigger as we leave them in the dark. So let's jump right in. Let's see what you need to know. We are going to enter Mercury retrograde on Tuesday. So Mercury, the planet of communication, it rules roadways. So things like deliveries, things like written communication, travel plans, contracts, maybe even just communicating with others can be very much wacky, okay? We also have the Sun conjunct Uranus, which makes more wackiness. So anything's possible. And this is a great time to observe, take notes, and kind of watch it all play out. So I've been talking about how retrograde we're going to revisit, because retrograde feels like the planet's moving backwards. So we're going to revisit some time periods from April 26th, and we're going to get to take a chance to review it, redo it, reevaluate it, all those RE words, okay? So this is a good thing. I know Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap, but what's the opportunity here? This is happening. Mercury is going to be, right now it's in the sign of Gemini, which it rules, so it functions really well there. But as it moves backwards, it's going to go back into the sign of Taurus, which is a Venus sign. So there's going to be a real chance to look at your relationships, look at your self-love and self-care of yourself, and then it's going to end back in the sign of Gemini, so being able to express that out. So have fun with it, take notes, get a little notebook or a calendar and just start jotting down. It's really important to do stuff like that so that as we have these retrogrades and we can look back and see what's been going on. So how have you been feeling? Those kind of things. What subjects are coming up? Okay, then we have a Friday the 13th this week. We have a full Scorpio moon at the end of the week, and we have a lunar eclipse. So pretty intense. And I think, I was researching Friday the 13th and there was like no solid information as to why there's so much hype about it. There was a lot of maybes. Maybe it's when Jesus and his apostles had the Last Supper. Maybe this, maybe that. Okay, so there's hype, right? And then Scorpio gets tons of hype because it rules death and it rules rebirth and it rules sex. So anytime Scorpio is involved, it's ruled by the planet Pluto. We have intensity, because Pluto likes to burn things up to carbon. It wants transformation. So I've just kind of been pondering about this and really thinking about my viewpoints on why we're on this planet. I mean, sometimes I really think that we're here to learn. If we don't learn it, we keep having to be given another opportunity to learn it. So let's take advantage of these planets that are available to us right now that want to help us transform. And I know it doesn't sound fun, and I know it doesn't sound easy, but the energy is there to help that happen right now. So let's get it right, so we don't have to keep doing this intense work. Okay, so I was thinking about Scorpio being related to the detective, right? And so a detective would sit long periods observing, watching, maybe even like you think of like a detective sitting in like a car at night observing. And Scorpio is so related to darkness. So I want you to observe yourself, see what's going on. And then with that whole Friday the 13th thing, it's like I was kind of relating it to the Devil card, right? Because the Devil card is one of the cards of the year this year, along with the Lovers, because they both equal the number 6, and this 2022 equals the number 6. So this is a 6-year in numerology. So it's a year of moving forward. It's considered the year of the gift, but when you look at the Devil card, it really has a lot to do with shame and guilt and things that we kind of pushed down, and a lot of the versions of the Devil card have the lovers in front of him. So I think there's a lot of love themes, there's a lot of sex themes, and there's a lot about shame and guilt and things that we've pushed down. So I want you to kind of observe yourself, observe your thoughts, because it's Mercury Gemini, so you're going to get to, or Mercury retrograde, so you're really going to get to review and all those re's. So take advantage of this time to do that. And where's the hype? Where have you put so much hype and so much energy and so much guilt and so much shame? That wants to come up and leave now. And probably, I'm betting that that's probably a pretty powerful part of you. And so getting that power back, really. Okay, so we have a lot of trines helping us out this week with Mars and Neptune and Jupiter. So we do have helpers there helping us, but we also have Saturn square. At some points it squared the sun, some points it squared the moon. And Saturn is like rules restriction, although I think over time it rules long-term success. And so it wants us to look at the restrictions, look at where we're really keeping ourselves enslaved. What thoughts are we keeping? What old stories are we keeping ourselves enslaved to? So this is a time for deep honesty, for listening. I have so many notes. It's an intense week. Let's listen to it all. And you don't have to like pressure yourself to feel like you have to get it all right now, or you have to like come to some major conclusion right now, because as we move into Gemini season and as Mercury goes direct, we'll have plenty of time for writing, analyzing, communicating, all of that. So sit, observe, watch where the ghosts and the monsters are stored, and is it time to bring it into the light? And this isn't something that has to be done with others. This is very deep work on your own. Now, one other thing I noticed was that the moon in the chart for the week there's kind of all the planets kind of grouped together on one side of the chart, and then the moon is kind of just over here as the handle moving along. So the moon I think of as like a very, very much our deepest parts of ourselves, the truth of who we are, maybe what we keep a little bit more to ourselves. It's very feminine energy, very delicate strength maybe is a better way to say it. So the moon is kind of the handle of the chart all week. So it's definitely going to be moody, and Scorpio's definitely, I have a lot of Scorpio and I'll tell you we're moody. So just knowing that these emotions are going to come up, it's going to be there. So just be aware of it. Okay. Now the South Node is going to be, let's see, there's something about the South Node in Scorpio also. So this is the cup that holds things from the past. So there's a lot of stuff that's ready to come up and out from this lifetime and maybe from others. So observe, feel, grieve, honor, release. And, Scorpio likes to burn things to carbon. So this is a great full moon to have a fire if it's safe where you are to burn a fire. That's a Scorpio full moon to me. And maybe I will burn something symbolically on that moon, something that represents something I want to let go of, because the lunar eclipse is there also. It's said to take something away from you. So why don't you volunteer what you would like that to be? You can symbolically burn it, or if it's not safe for you to burn where you live, maybe you can just burn it over the toilet and flush it away. Okay? So, what else? Talked about the moon being the handle, and Jupiter leaves the sign of Pisces. It's been there, I think it stays in a sign for 12 years. So it's moving into Aries. So that's kind of a big deal. So Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by the planet Saturn. And Saturn likes to shake things up, shake up what's loose in our lives, right? And Pluto wants to transform things. So Pluto's going to be, it's been in the sign of Capricorn since 2008. So it's just about ready to leave the sign of Capricorn and enter the sign of Aquarius. Although it's not going to happen until next year, next spring. It's finishing up its work in Capricorn. So there's a lot of intensity right now. It's getting its final shake up. And it's there to help us, remember that. So allow this transformation to happen. Allow the new you to just shine brightly. So let's not be afraid of this week ahead. We can laugh at the social media post, but this is a time of true power and releasing and forgiving and feeling really great, really light and dynamic. Letting our old self die off. It's like shedding a skin like a snake. So with that being said, let's jump into the piles. I'm working with some really power player decks this week. I pulled out the Spellcasters Tarot, which I don't always work with because of its intensity. So Spellcasters. And of course I had to use the Black Cats Tarot because of Friday the 13th and Scorpio. So we're gonna work with that. I've got the Dark Mansion Tarot, which is just a natural favorite of mine. I've got the Relative Tarot Oracle card that we're gonna work with. I got a couple new decks too. So this is the Tarot of Curious Creatures. This is the same author, Chrisanne, who did the Light Seers and the Muse, which you see me using a lot. I just opened this. This is going to be the first time I do a reading with it, so this is kind of exciting. And then we have also, I just opened the Sacred Forest Oracle, which I thought it seems pretty powerful. I flipped through it. So these are a lot of new decks that we have in stock in Kent, Connecticut. So if you're in the area, stop in. And then our cards, our pick a pile cards, are based off of the Moonology deck or Oracle deck, which is a really fun one. So I chose Full Moon Eclipse for pile number 1 from the Moonology. And it says conclusions are within reach. Pile number 2, it's a fixed moon. Scorpio is a fixed sign. And so here's Hold Your Vision. Pile number 2. And then for pile number 3, full moon in Scorpio, it's time to release negativity. All right, pick your pile. Let's get started. Pile number 1, conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So pretty. Okay, let's see what you need to know this powerful week ahead. And let's see what we're starting off with. The 8 of Wands. This is interesting. From this new deck I'm working with. So 8 of Wands is, traditionally called the honeymoon card. Very much about moving forward. It's passionate energy. And here it's like very playful energy. So kind of like what I was saying about, let's not make too much hype about negative hype. This is a great time of opportunity for us to leap forward, lighter. Now, the heart of the matter, we have the 2 of Swords from the Black Cats Tarot. And so showing that there's a relationship there in the heart. And a lot of it could be the relationship with self because we're there to transform. But there's a theme with relationships. And so maybe there's an old relationship that's still lingering. It says conclusions are within reach. So maybe there's some old thoughts that have been going on that you're ready. You're ready to have a conclusion, to feel better. Now, supporting the heart is a 2 of Pentacles. So maybe there's a decision that you've been sitting with for a while, trying to keep things balanced. They're kind of trying to keep things balanced here. And here the dog's coming to bring his lunch, which is kind of cool. So he has helpers. His ships are coming in the background. Probably feels like he's just very trying to keep things up, but not realizing how much help is really there. Okay, the foundation card is the 6 of Swords. So we're in a 6th year. This is a card of moving forward. It's a card of moving in general. And so we started off with the 8 of Wands where he's bouncing forward. We have the 6 of Swords where they're moving forward in this boat. So it seems that you're ready to move away from something. Now that could be a present relationship. Although I would say that during Mercury retrograde, you may, if you're able to, wait until after retrograde ends. that would be ideal, but sometimes you can't wait. So use great caution, be aware, calmly, be aware of your surroundings, but there's something that you're moving away from. So that doesn't have to be literal. That can be just some old things, old relationships, old thoughts about yourself. Now in the background, we have the lovely magician here from the Black Cats, one of my favorite magicians. And so he's in the background there, and he's magic. He's got everything there to help you out. He's Scorpio. He's your power there in the background, and he's a 1. It's all about him. Got the Strength card. So there's some real powerhouse cards in the background. And then we're moving forward into the 6 of Pentacles, another 6, some kind of exchange of money going on, some kind of balance with the Libra scales in the background, almost like a bank. And here's the 9 of Wands, this roaring lion. Okay, so almost got the, like, if you are trying to move forward with a business plan, or you've been trying to get a loan or some monies, it seems that it's coming towards you. Okay, it seems like you've been trying to juggle and trying to balance, and you have a lot more helpers than you realize, and they see your power. And so this is a time when you may receive these things, where this can come in, these opportunities. Yeah, I mean, I find Mercury retrograde periods to be very powerful. And a lot of this being in the sign of Taurus, that has to do with money. And we're in a Taurus month, and the sun is conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And Uranus can be that lightning bolt of things just coming in. If you've applied for like monies, grants, loans, this is going to start moving forward for you. Now, keep in mind, you know, if these are things that you applied for before retrograde, then you of course have to just move forward with care and detail to make those things happen. If this is something that springs up out of the blue during Mercury retrograde period, I would be a little bit more careful, and I would stall as much as you can. But to me, this looks like very dynamic energy moving forward. So I'm going to use a couple oracles here. Some astro dice. So you've got South Node in Capricorn in the 10th house. So the South Node, we were talking about the South Node being in Scorpio, so it's going to be very close to the moon, the full moon. And so there's stuff from the past, that cup that holds everything that ever happened to you, in the sign of Capricorn, which again is like career, business, long-standing, you're standing in the world, the foundation of your life in the 10th house. So there's something here where I just think that you're going to get, like, you're getting monies that you asked for. You have helpers helping you. That's what I keep seeing over and over. You may not even be aware of them helping you. And, you know, when Uranus is involved, Uranus rules helpful friends. And sometimes those are strangers. So there's something there about that for you. Let's see what we've got with the relative oracle. Relative oracle, yes. Delusion. Okay, well, we still have a lot of planets in Pisces right now. We still, even though Jupiter's going to, let's see, where did it go? Jupiter's going to leave Pisces soon, like this week. We still do have Neptune and Mars in Pisces. So there's still that like dream it kind of energy. If you dream it, it can become a reality kind of energy. Feels very South Node-ish also. Let's see what else we've got here. Bond, very Capricorn. It's almost like those looking out for you are almost like your ancestors, like your grandparents. I'm more specifically a grandfather, possibly a grandmother. Could even be like great grandparents. See, you've really cared for. really like opportunities are falling in your lap. Phoenix, transmutation. So this is the Scorpio full moon. Scorpio is that Phoenix rising. There's that bonfire I was talking about. Oh, it'd be so nice for you if you could do that. Have a bonfire and have that symbolic burn and allow this transformation. I think it has a lot to do with money for you. And something about, you know, money goes back to our values and our self-value and our self-love. And I see the relationship with yourself really improving. You're going to let go of some things that have been holding you back. Some of this could be old, outdated ways of thinking because your ancestors came in there. So what's truly of value still, maybe if it just feels like their energy is very around right now. So if you're looking for advice, if you can kind of ask for help, ask for your helpers, because there's magic that can happen for you. There's some beginnings, some endings and new beginnings here for you. So this is a really powerful time. If you're ready for your finances to change, it's almost, I get the vibe that you're receiving an inheritance. And this can be it could be an actual inheritance, or this can be like energetic inheritance, that you're the one and you're ready. And as you make more space, letting go of some old grief and old shame and old stuff, there's going to be really a lot of room for blessings, and you have some helpful friends to help you along the way. I'm going to pull a few charms and some letters for you. All right, let's just have fun with this. Oh, the word shape, S-H-A-P. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I have shape and I have sharp. Let's see. The word, do I have start? S-T-A-R. Oh, I have star. Star shape. The word rail. I have the word lap. Okay, and then I've got a blank one. I've got a few more letters over here. I've got the letter D, A, a blank, a G. Maybe those are initials, D-A-G. I've got a 5 of diamonds. I've got this beautiful moose here. I've got the word what over bond, and the word came over delusion. The word them over the 2 of swords, along with a piece of labradorite, the stone of magic. This lunar moth that kind of has a little bit of a Scorpio connotation of change. An anchor, a guitar, a balloon, and a little horse and buggy. All right, so I'll take a picture, see if you can make any words out of this, but I have shape, star, rail, lap, the initials D-A-G, and I've got a blank one. Have a great week. Pile number 2, hold your vision, fixed moon. Okay, so Scorpio is a really fixed sign, right? And it, I have a lot of Scorpio, and I definitely feel like it takes me a long time to get over things. We get very fixated, and we can hold emotion very deeply, get very sad, right? So this fixed sign, with all this transformation going on, it's like these are things that maybe we've been fixated on for a long time. They're ready to come up and leave, okay? Now we're starting off with the 4 of Wands. Interesting, from this new deck here. Looks like he's almost like at a wedding, like dancing. 4 of Wands, okay. That's starting off. Let's see what's the heart of the matter here. Oh, 4 of Wands again. Interesting, there's that full moon bonfire I was talking about. So like-minded people, circle here, circle of cats around this bonfire. It's showing up in the heart position. It's, oh, this one first is almost like, hey, I'm back. Like, it's almost like COVID's ended. It's starting to be social again. I mean, it's not ended fully, but our restrictions are slightly loosened up. So here we are gathering together again, how much we've missed that. And then really like taking a look at what our needs are now. Here's the 10 of Wands, carrying a lot, ready to put down a lot of these burdens, and realizing how much others help with that. Our foundation is the 9 of Cups. So there's definitely plenty. Taurus season's a little bit of a time of excess. And that's coming in on the bottom. There is plenty. That there's plenty of satisfaction available as we put down a little bit of our burdens. Now behind the scenes we have the Magician, which is interesting because pile number 1 had the Magician in the same spot. So this is that Friday the 13th. This is that Scorpio full moon. It's powerful transformative energy, and it's there in the background helping us out. Here's the 2 of Pentacles. Trying to balance something out. 2 is anything in relationship. So it's kind of like there's some transformations happening in the relationships. What's still of value to you? How much work are you putting into these relationships? Here's the Magician again. All right, so you got some serious Scorpio energy there. Some people associate the Magician with Mars, and we know that Venus just entered the sign of Aries. It's ruled by Mars. And, I've shared some of Sheila Height's post where she talks about Venus moving into Mars, really our actions really showing what's important, what we value. So it's going back to that observing ourselves, seeing where we're putting attention, where we're putting our energy, and really kind of being our own detective to see what's going on, what needs to change. Here's the Knight of Cups. He's such a romantic little frog. Okay, so there's something there, like there's a love theme in all of these, and I think maybe because Scorpio rules sex, maybe that's part of it, deep emotion. And the Knight of Cups is like lighter in that sense. It's like, okay, here's what I'm looking for. This is what is really true to me. So I'm going to roll some dice, pull some oracle. Let's see what we've got. We've got the Sun and the first house in the sign of Cancer. Sun, Cancer, first house. Okay. Well, the Cancer is that nurturing water energy. First house is Aries house, the house of I am, right? So there's this like sun shining on how you care, how you nurture yourself, these new ways. And some of the advice that I had given for the week for the astrology forecast was a lot about going slow. When you are gentle with yourself, it's easier to be kind to others, right? So with these planets starting to move out of Pisces into Aries, it's definitely going to be like more aggressive energy. So Venus is there. Well, the rest of the planets will be following suit soon. But okay, let me do a few oracles. You're going to get a bunch of oracles. Okay, let's see what you need to know. This one's exciting because it's brand new and I haven't seen the cards yet. This is the great thing about owning a tarot shop. You just have to get new decks. You got to know them all. Okay, so here's your oracles. We got religion. We've got disconnect. And spirit. Okay, so you know, there's old stuff, this guilt, shame, all these things that I was talking about, like regarding the Devil card and regarding Scorpio energy, the things that are left in the dark. I know for me, a lot of it's religious based, where I feel guilty or shame. And so those things want to be looked at right now. Pluto, the sign that rules Scorpio, is in the sign of Capricorn, getting ready to leave. It's been in that sign since 2008. So it's done its work through Capricorn, shaking up, transforming the things that don't work in our jobs, in our careers, in the structures of our life. It's getting ready to move into the sign of Aquarius. So here it's like, let's transform these things that were structures, these things, these traditions, these ways, these old ways that maybe don't serve us anymore. Disconnect, and then spirit. And it's almost like disconnecting from a religion does not mean that you're disconnecting from spirit. Now let's see what we got over here. We've got dragon power. Wow, look at that. It's almost like he's got the moon there and she's just sleeping and he's just watching over her. Wow, that is so beautiful. Earth, spirit, stability. Very nice. And you got spirit here too. So you've got some helpers. You've got two swans down here too. They mate for life. So there's some earth spirit here. There's a lot of power helping you out, helping you put down some of your burdens, helping you connect with like-minded people. Two magicians in a reading about a Scorpio full moon, a lunar eclipse, and a Friday the 13th. It's going to be intense, but I see it as intensely good. So make the most of this week. All right, let's do a few charms. Hold your vision, as your card said. Your first card, hold your vision, fixed moon, right? Scorpio's fixated, right? I have Mars in Scorpio, and I know when I put my mind to something, watch out. Good luck trying to change it. Okay, I thought I had the word funny, but I don't. I have Fanny. Okay, I've got the word told. I think I have the word there. If I had a T, I can do it off of here, there. Fanny told there. An N, we have an R over here. And, all right, we've got a 2, the word royalty. 065, another dragon reference, a coyote and a trumpet and a guitar, kind of right in the center there. So these are all like loud creatures, loud guitar, a horn, a coyote howling, a dragon, and this 065. We're all over this 10 of wands. So it's everything's screaming at you. It's saying, okay, that's enough. Let's put down this burden. Up at the top on the 4 of wands, we have a smiley face, an apple, and a unicycle over that playful 4 of wands energy. All right, I'm gonna take a picture. You can see what you can make out of these letters. Have a great week. Pile number 3. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. All right, let's do this. This powerful week ahead. Let's see what you need to know. Starting off with the 2 of wands. They appear to be arm wrestling. It's a 2. It's in relationship. Maybe you've been struggling. Maybe you've been struggling with others, or maybe it's just your own self you've been struggling with. The heart of the matter is the Ace of Cups. Interesting, there's 2 swans swimming in that cup. We had just referenced swans from another deck in pile number 2. So there's something there about lifelong relationship, commitment, cup of satisfaction, coming up in the heart position. Supporting the heart of the matter. Let's see what we've got here. 2 of Cups. interesting, because this almost felt like the Two of Cups with the swans in it. Here's the Two of Cups. Okay, so there's definitely some relationship themes here, because we have a Two of Wands starting us off, an Ace of Cups that has a 2 reference in it, swimming, and then the Two of Cups. So there's something here about a relationship. It looks, I don't know if you're like the struggle, I get the impression is internal with yourself. Maybe it's, and your first card is it's time to release negativity. So there may be something you're struggling with personally, but you don't want it to affect the joy of your relationship. Here's the foundation card, is the Fool. Okay, which I love the Fool card. Let's see what else we've got going on. In the background, we have the Lovers. This is such a great Lovers version. Black Cat's Tarot. Okay, so that's choices. That's coming up in the background next to the Ace of Cups. There's a Ten of Pentacles where she's waving goodbye. Something's ending. He looks very fond of her. Here's the Devil card. So you got both cards of the year in this pile. You got, and they're right across too. So we've got the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, the Devil. Okay, so I love this Devil card because look at their faces down here. These skeletons are like so over it, like almost look a little bored. Okay, so it's almost like, I just feel like you're having like some kind of internal struggle with yourself about some old stuff. Maybe there's some guilt. Maybe you've done something. Maybe you made some bad choices. And there's this freshness coming in. Hold on, let's keep going. Oh, we have the Six of Wands. There's a wedding going on. And it's a 6, which is the number of the year. So you've got 3 6s. The Devil's 15, which equals 6. So it's almost like they're, I don't know. I'm getting the impression that there was like a past relationship before, because it almost looks like you're getting married or you're moving more towards commitment right now. Or maybe it's an old marriage, but there's something there about like some sticky stuff that's ready to come up and out. I'm gonna pull a few more cards so I can understand more if I'm on the right track here. Is this an old marriage? It's the 9 of Wands. What is this in reference to? Okay, so asking for more clarity, I've got the 9 of Wands. She's definitely guarded, having some pretty clear boundaries there. It's the 5 of Wands. It's like watching everybody's foolishness, but he's kind of laughing. And here's the Page of Wands, who's kind of heeding that bird's call. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's like some like old stories, old, like you're guarded in some way. Maybe you've been keeping a secret. Scorpio's secrets. Maybe you've been keeping a secret, and Six of Pentacles. Two of Wands and the King of Wands. Okay, I kind of get that like you've been so busy in service to others and caring for others and working and doing all that stuff that like you've kind of like pushed aside whatever this is, and now it's time. You got another two of Wands. He's like held there, but he's looking at the bird. There's a lot of like looking at the birds in this. Okay. And then there's King of Wands, who's dynamic, fiery. So I just see like you're moving into freedom. Maybe there's something that needs to be admitted, but I would say that might start with admitting to yourself, and maybe the rest comes out a little bit later. There's something here about you've been distracted and you haven't been looking at it, but it's very much in your heart. So I don't know if this was like a fling or like an old relationship that just wasn't settled, that's still in the way, but now's the time to let go of it. And now's the time to start that fresh journey. I'm gonna do some of these oracle cards and see. I've got optimism, mischief, and horse's ass. Okay. Optimism, mischief, and horse's ass. Okay, so I'm just kind of getting like whatever it was like you were a kid, it was a long time ago, but you still feel like a horse's ass about it. So this is a time to free yourself up, lighten yourself up. Your foundation card is the Fool. That's a new beginning, a new start. It's here for you. It's ready for you. Jupiter, Aries, 5th house. Okay. So 5th house does rule love affairs. It's a house of fun. Jupiter, it's like makes things bigger, right? It's also very lucky. But Aries, I keep getting that like there was some kind of like maybe sexual mishap earlier on. Something happened, but the story's like getting bigger as time goes on in your mind. And you're struggling with it with yourself. And there's like this freedom available to move forward. But I'm gonna pick a few more cards because it's a big statement. So let's see. And it might just be something that you don't need to tell someone else. It could just be like something you're feeling shame about that's like holding you back in your current relationship. Let's see what we've got here. All right, we've got 3 that want to come out. Let's see what they are. Spirit Guardian of Spring, activation. There's another swan there. This is like it looks like May Day, maypole, which we just came out of, which is like a ritual of fertility, really. We've got Spirit Guardian of Summer, expansion, and you roll Jupiter, which is expansion. And look at all those peaches. And then you've got Spirit Guardian of Autumn, letting go. And that's kind of what that Scorpio full moon is, letting go. So you're ready. It's like those peaches are ready to be harvested. You're ready to let go of something old. It could just be something really stupid. It's horse's ass. So it could just be something really stupid, but it could be blocking you. You don't want to move into these new relationships, these new periods, and these new commitments in your life with all old garbage that makes you feel bad. So write it down. I would say write it down, consider it, revisit it over Mercury retrograde, see, almost like making a plan, but you're more observing right now, okay? Let's do a few charts. Some letters. I like that you got votes for women over the devil. And right now, us women need to be stepped up for because our rights are in danger. Here's the sun shining over the 2 of Wands and a dragonfly. Dragonfly that has a 360 view, and the sun is shining very brightly, so you can see where you're struggling with yourself. Got the number 52 over the Ace of Cups. I have the word me over 2 of Cups and a clear quartz and the 5 of Diamonds. Now we also have this little fortune cookie message that says, look for someone's strength instead of weakness over the 2 of Cups. And you got a nice chunk of amethyst here and the word what over 6 of Wands, that wedding scene. All right, let's go over here and see if we can make any names, letters. I see the word joy. J-O-Y. I've got the word X, so we were definitely talking about something about an X. Let's see, what else do I have? I have the word feel. And, all right, well this, I have the word hire, H-I-R-E. Word on, and the letter U. All right, I'll take a picture. You see what you can spell. Have a fabulous week.